In this video, I'm going to show you how to complete the Access Guided Project 1-2. But before we begin, I'd like to talk about the resource bundle. The resource bundle was a package that you are instructed to download that includes files that you'll need for this particular project. When you downloaded the instructions and the start file is what you see right here, you should have also been instructed to download the resource bundle. Let me show you how I get this ready on my computer. However, please be mindful, depending on your computer or device, it may look and be set up slightly different. If you'd like help on downloading and preparing the resources, head back over to the project main page, and in the upper right hand corner, click on the question mark, then click on SimNet Instant Help, click on Projects since this is a project, and then you'll see lots of resources that can help you. For this particular task, you'll need to locate the area that says Extracting Resource Files, and there are a set of instructions and a video that can help you. Let me show you how I access the bundle and get the files ready to go. However, please be mindful that on your computer device, it may be set up slightly different. So you may want to use these instructions to help you. Heading back to the project main page, when I click the download wizard, since I'm using Chrome, all the downloads appear in the lower left-hand portion of the screen, the start file, the instructions, and what's called the resource bundle. What I need to do, since I know that all of my downloads go into the downloads folder, I need to go into the downloads folder, find this particular bundle, and then extract the files. Once again, your computer device may be set up slightly different than mine. So what I do is I head to the downloads folder, and I look for the folder that has a zipper across it. It means it's a zipped up resource folder. I right click over it, and then I click Extract All. It says select the destination and extract the files. And what I can do is I can put it right back into this same area, or I can select anywhere else. It doesn't matter where you select, you just have to select the destination for these files to be extracted to. I then click Extract. And since I've done this a few times, I have to click Replace. You may not have to do that step. And then the files are ready to go. So let's head back over to the Access Start file and begin to work on your project. Step 1 has 3 steps. Number 1, it says enable the content in the security warning. So if you see a yellow bar across the top of your screen and you see the words enable content, simply double click it, and that will allow you to work with this particular access program. 1B, it says the file will be automatically renamed to include your name, and that is true. If you are instructed to change the file name by your instructor, this is the time to do it. However, if they don't give you any instructions, you can just leave it as is. There may be nothing to do for this step. 1C, it says click the table button. So what you need to do is find the tab in the upper left-hand portion of the screen that says Create. And then what you need to do is click the table button. And this will get a table ready for you to begin this project. And that completes step 1. In step 2, we're going to edit the default primary key and then add new fields into this table. So step 2A says to double click in the cell containing the ID field. And I'm going to go very slowly as I complete this, and I'm going to check off items as I complete it. I have a printed copy of the instructions, and I will tell you from a lot of experience that it makes it easier to have printed instructions. However, it's not necessary. It just makes it helpful to click off items as you complete them. So I'm going to double click in the ID area, and once again I'm going to go very, very slowly. Then I type in member ID. And if you're unfamiliar with SimNet, it's important to get your spelling, capitalization, your numbers inputted correctly. Otherwise, you may be marked incorrect. So make sure you spell everything correctly. I put that in there, I check it, I click enter. Then it brings me over, and I need to select short text. Once again, checking off the items as I complete them. That's 2C. I type in first name. Make sure you get the capitalization correctly. I hit enter. And once again, I type in short text. You're going to see a pattern here, obviously. That completes step 2E. Next, I type in last name. Click enter. Then I'm going to add the remaining fields into this table. Please be mindful that you should go very slowly with this, and at the very last step where it says cell phone number, we need to press the down arrow key so you remain in that column. So let's go over this very slowly. I'll try not to talk a lot. I'll just follow the instructions right here, put what's in this little table into the table on the screen. So I click short text, enter, short text, state, enter. Most of these are short text, but please remember there are a few that aren't at the bottom there. You can see hypertext is coming up. For the zip, it's short text. Hyperlink for email address. And after you type in cell phone number, I'm going to hit the down arrow key. Next, I hit Control plus S. I hold down the Control button and select S. Then I have to type in members to give the table a name, a proper name. I click OK, and that completes step 2. Step 3. We need to edit the field properties of the members table. This really isn't a very hard step, but once again, it's important that you go over everything very slowly. So step 3A, it says click the member ID field name. And once again, I'm taking my time to check off each item as I complete it. So I head up here, just over top the member ID. You can see how it turns blue right here. And then it says click the name and caption button, so we need to head over to the Table Tools Field tab. It's right there. You can see, make sure you're on Table Tools and then the Fields tab. And then this is in the Properties group right up here. We need to click Name and Caption. And you're going to see the same pattern repeat over and over here, where we can give captions and descriptions and change field sizes and things like that. So that completes step 3B. Step 3C, type in member ID into the caption area. It's right down here in the center. This is caption area. Member ID. Click OK, and that'll complete step 3C and 3D. Step 3E says click the first name field name, and you can see just click right over the name there. We're going to do the same process, name and caption. And in the caption property area, we're going to type in first name. Then click OK, checking these off as I go very slowly. That completes 3H. In 3I, we need to type in 20. That's the field size. So let's head back up to to the Fields tab right up there, and you can see that it defaults on 255. We need to change that to 20, and that'll limit the size to 20. So now we're going to change the remaining field properties in the table using the following information, the information that you see in your instructions. That's 3J. So I just click anywhere here to lock it in place. Then I click on last name. Caption needs to say last name. I click OK. Head back up here. Need to change the field size to 25. That's what you see in that table. Click anywhere else outside of it to lock it in place. Next, address. So there's nothing to do here with the caption. Sorry about that. I'm going to make this 45. That completes address. Head over to city. Needs to be 25. There's no caption. Going to head over to state. 2. Let's click on zip code. Here we do need to put in a name and caption. Type in zip into the caption area. Click OK. And I know I need to change the field size to 5. Click on email. Name and caption. Type in email. Click OK. Now please note that there is no designation for a field size there, so there's nothing to do right here. Checking them off as I go. Heading over to cell phone. Fields. In the caption area. And then the size needs to be 12. Lastly, I'm going to save it, and if you know anything about the Microsoft products, there are multiple different ways to save. You could hit Control S, which will work just fine. You could hit the little diskette button in the upper left-hand portion of the screen. You could always click File and Save. I'm going to hit Control S, but you can save it any way that you like. And that completes step 3. Step 4. We need to enter the member records into the members table. This is the members table. Step 4A says click on the first name cell right there and type in Geneva. Then I click the tab key. That's 4C. Click the tab key. And we're going to keep doing this. We're going to fill out all of the data all the way down to step 4J, taking your time to make sure you spell it correctly. When I'm putting in the phone number, I'm going to type in exactly how I see it with the dashes in there. And then moving down to the next row, you can see that it defaults to the member ID column. So I'm going to hit tab one more time. That's going to get us to the first name area, and then I'm going to type in all of the information that you see on that table. When you tab down to the next row, be sure that you start in the first name column, not in the member ID column. That's my one recommendation here. And once you put in the last bit of information for Roy Baxter, you've completed step 4. Congratulations. In step 5, we need to change the layout of the members table. This is not a hard step, but once again, it's important that you go slowly and do everything step by step. So it says 5A, click to select the zip column. So I just click right over top of the word zip, and now you see the words zip column, highlight it right here. 5B, need to right click. 5C, select field width. And that's exactly what you think it is. It just determines the width of this particular column. We are going to type in 7. 5E says click OK, and now we've handled that. 5F, it says click the center alignment button. We need to head over to the Home tab and over towards the right hand area, at least on my computer. One of the choices, there's left align, center, right align, or line right. We need to select center. Next, we need to head over here. And I just clicked off of that so I could see this right here because we need to select the state column. And then it says put your pointer on the right hand edge, and you can see how the pointer changes shape. This is the same thing that happens in Microsoft Excel, if you're familiar with that. If you hover over the right edge of a column, it'll auto fit, it'll resize the column. And I double click. You can see how it shrinks it to exactly the width that it needs to be, which is great. We are going to select the Home tab. We are working on 5J. I click Center Alignment. You can see that it aligns it in the center, which is perfect. 5K. We need to click the alternate row color drop-down list over here on the right. And once again, all of these icons, you probably know this, but if you hover over them, if you give it a second, it'll tell you what it is. So the rightmost one, at least on my screen, it may be slightly different on yours, but the rightmost one on mine says alternate row color. I click the drop-down list, and I need to select the color blue-gray, text 2, lighter 80%. So at least as of the writing of this particular set of instructions, it's the fourth column. And it should be the second one down. But I encourage you to make sure that you find the correct tile, the correct color. Once in a while, Microsoft will move these things, so just make sure you're getting the blue-gray, text 2, lighter 80%. Next, it says press Control and an S. You're holding down Control and the S button at the exact same time. I've done that. And then lastly, 5M. We need to close the members table by clicking the X in the upper right-hand portion. So what I needed to do was click back into the main screen so I could click the X. Your computer may not have that. When this menu is up here, sometimes it covers up the portion of the screen that you need to see. So I just click anywhere down here. Then I can click the X in the upper right hand portion of the screen, not the X in the very right hand portion of the screen, because that will close out this whole program, but just the members table. And yes, I will. I do want to save that. And that completes step 5. Step 6, we're going to import data from Excel into the members table. Do you remember when we extracted the resource bundle? Well, this is where it's going to come into play right here. If you haven't done that, you'll want to get that file ready, extracted, because we need to use an Excel spreadsheet, get some of the data from Excel into the members table here. So in this particular step, I am going to head over to the Excel button, and I need to click on the External Data tab, which makes sense. We need to grab data that's external from this particular program. I click on Excel. That's going to launch this particular Get External Data Excel spreadsheet area. And that completes 6A. 6B, we need to browse. And depending on where that particular extracted Excel file was located, you may have to search for it. Once again, on your computer, it may be found in a different area than my computer. So locate that extracted Excel file. And if you don't know how to do this step, remember you can go to the SimNet Instant Help to help you extract those files, because you will need to find it right now. You can either double click it or click it once. Click open. And I found it, so I've completed step 6C. 6D was to open it. 6E says append a copy of the records to the table. So that should be the middle radio button right here. Make sure it's append a copy, not import source data. Append a copy, that's important. Next, click on the drop down arrow. You should only have members right here. So it should be on members already. There should be nothing to do for 6F, but make sure it's on members. Next, click OK. And once again, I'm checking off each item as I complete it to make sure I hit everything perfectly. Click the next button, 6H. Looking pretty good. I can see that it says members up here. Import to table members. I click finish and close. And that completes step 6. Step 7. I'm going to open the members table in the datasheet view. So what I do is I can see members is over here on the left hand side. I simply double click it. And it says that you should have 14 records, just like figure -1-108. And I will just quickly scan this. And I have 14 records. So I've successfully completed step 7. Yes. Let's head over to step 8. Step 8. We need to sort the members table. So step 8A says to click the drop down arrow to the right of the city field name. That's what I'm clicking right here. And then I'm clicking sort A to Z. That completes step 8B. 8C says remove the sorting. So I head over to the Home tab and I click remove sort, and it removes the sorting. That completes 8C. 8D. I need to click to select the zip column. So I'm just clicking anywhere so I can get back out to the top of the zip column. I click the zip column, and then what it wants me to do is it wants me to move and drag the zip column to the left of the last name column. And now it says zip and last name. Click anywhere to deselect the zip column. Then what I do on step 8G is I click and hold the pointer over the zip column, and then I drag it over the last name column. Now, for some reason that didn't work for you, you can deselect it again. It's a little bit sensitive, so you have to click and then hold to select the zip column and then drag over the last name. So once you see both columns highlighted, once again I'm reading the instructions very carefully to make sure that I've done this. It says release the pointer, and then I need to click the ascending button, which is on the Home tab, ascending, and it displays the record in ascending order. And I'm just going to double check to see that everything looks good here, and I just click off of that and it's looking pretty good. So next I need to remove the sort. Click back on the Home tab, remove sort. 8J, I need to move the zip column to the right of the state column. Let me just click off of that. And I need to move the zip column to the right of the state column. So I just click anywhere in here to deselect both of those. And then I click and hold the zip column and release it. And now you can move it over to the right of the state column. And that completes step 8. Step 9. Filter the members table using the filter by selection. So in the second row right here, member ID 2, it wants us to select 916. This is going to help us sort by 916. Next, it says click the selection button, which is on the Home tab. You can see the sort and filter group right here. And I click selection. and then I select begin with 916. And if I did this correctly, I just need to click anywhere so I can see that there should be approximately, or not approximately, but 7 members who have cell phones, area codes that begin with 916. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There should be 7 total. And there are, in fact, 7 members. Next, we need to click the drop down arrow to the right of the cell phone field name. And we need to clear filter from cell name, cell phone. And now you can see that all the records do appear once again. And that completes step 9. Step 10. We need to filter the datasheet using the text filter feature. So 10A, it says select or click the drop down arrow to the right of the email field name. Once again, I'm clicking off each item as I complete it. Next, it says select text filters. And on my computer, a list appears on the right. However, I will tell you sometimes, depending on the size of your screen, it may appear on the left-hand side, but it doesn't matter because we need to select the button that says contains. And then in step 10C, we need to type in Gmail. Click OK. And you can see that items, emails that just contain Gmail are then sorted. We can toggle back to the other view by clicking on the Home tab, toggle filter. You can see everything here. Going to click it again. We're going to click on the drop down email, drop down list to the right of email. We're going to select clear filter from email, and it'll clear those filters. That completes step 10. And then it's important that we don't want to save these changes. So if we click on the X here, it'll give us an option. Would you like to save the changes? Or no, I would not like to change them. Be sure to select no. And that completes step 11. Step 12, we're going to review the completed members table. So I'm going to once again double click the members table, check it out, and it should look pretty much like you see in the instructions. Next, since we really didn't do anything here, I'm just going to exit out. There's no need to save anything. I'm just Xing it out. That completes step 12. Step 13, we need to add database properties using the database properties dialog box. So we need to click on the File tab, upper left-hand portion of the screen, Info. We need to click View and Edit Database Properties, which is over here. Might be a little bit small to see on your screen, but you'll see it. In the title, we type in American River members. Into the author area. Make sure it's in the author area, not the subject area. Please type this into the author area. Very common mistake for students and myself. In the company, I'm typing in ARCC. I'm clicking OK. And then step 14 has you close the database. You will click the X in the upper right hand portion of your screen. You will save it. Step 15 and 16 has you upload and then submit your project for grading. Thank you very much, everybody. Good luck.